In news overseas, President Barack Obama says the United States today is a better, stronger place than when he took office in 2008. In his farewell address delivered in Chicago, Illinois, Obama pointed to the reversal of a recession, passage of his landmark health care program, and the legalization of gay marriage as achievements the American people have won through his message of change. Obama also said it is up to all Americans to make sure the government can meet the country's many challenges, and that he has committed to making this transition to the new administration as smooth as possible. Furthermore, he urged the people to take an active role in democracy, saying the system depends on Americans accepting the responsibility of citizenship, regardless of which way the pendulum swings. Obama made the speech less than 2 weeks before President-elect Donald Trump's inauguration.
Our democracy is threatened whenever we take it for granted. All of us, regardless of party, should be throwing ourselves into the task of rebuilding our democratic institutions. When voting rates in America are some of the lowest among advanced democracies, we should be making it easier, not harder, to vote. When trust in our institutions is low, we should reduce the corrosive influence of money in our politics and insist on the principles of transparency and ethics in public service. When Congress is dysfunctional, we should draw our congressional districts to encourage politicians to cater to common sense and not rigid extremes. But remember, none of this happens on its own. All of this depends on our participation, on each of us accepting the responsibility of citizenship, regardless of which way the pendulum of power happens to be swinging.
Emosyonal at nanawagan ng pagkakaisa si outgoing US President Barack Obama sa kanyang farewell speech. Pinagmalaki rin niya ang mga nagawa ng kanyang administrasyon. Hindi naman niya napigilang magpasaring kay President-elect Donald Trump. Narito ang report.
Yes, we can. Yes, we did. Yes, we can. Thank you. God bless you. May God continue to bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Ito ang naging makulay na pagtatapos sa farewell speech ni outgoing US President Barack Obama matapos ang 2 termino sa pwesto na maalam siya sa bansa. Pero hindi raw dito natatapos ang paglilingkod niya sa publiko.
It has been the honor of my life to serve you. I won't stop. In fact, I will be right there with you as a citizen for all my remaining days.
Sa kabila ng hindi pagkaunawaan ng marami, nanawagan si Obama ng pagkakaisa sa ngalan ng demokrasya.
The work of democracy has always been hard. It's always been contentious. But the long sweep of America has been defined by forward motion, a constant widening of our founding creed to embrace all, and not just some.
Bagamat isang beses lang nabanggit ang pangalan ni US President-elect Donald Trump, hindi napigilan ni Obama na magpasaring sa kanya. Dapat daw magkaroon ng pantay-pantay na oportunidad sa Amerika ang iba't ibang lahi. Madalas kasi ang pag-atake noon ni Trump sa mga immigrant noong panahon ng kampanya. Sa kabila nito, nangako si Obama ng maayos na pagsasalin ng kapangyarihan sa bagong Pangulo.
I committed to President-elect Trump that my administration would ensure the smoothest possible transition, just as President Bush did for me. Because it's up to all of us to make sure our government can help us meet the many challenges we still face.
Hindi naman napigilan ni Obama na maging emosyonal ng pasalamatan si US First Lady Michelle Obama.
You took on a role you didn't ask for. And you made it your own, with grace and with grit and with style and good humor. You made the White House a place that belongs to everybody. And a new generation sets its sights higher because it has you as a role model. So you have made me proud, and you have made the country proud.
Bago magtapos, nanawagan muli ang outgoing US President sa mga Amerikano na maniwala sa kanilang sarili at sa kakayahan nilang isulong ang panibagong yugto ng pagbabago.
Just came out of a long day of meetings, so I just heard about some of this, but I have seen some of those colorful statements in the past, and so clearly he's a colorful guy. And what I've instructed my team to do is to talk to their Philippine counterparts to find out, is this in fact a time where we can have some constructive, productive conversations? Obviously, the Filipino people are some of our closest friends and allies, and the Philippines is a treaty ally of ours. But I always want to make sure that if I'm having a meeting that it's actually productive and we're getting something done. We recognize the significant burden that the drug trade plays not just in the Philippines but around the world, and fighting narco-trafficking is tough. But we will always assert the need to have due process and to engage in that fight against drugs in a way that's consistent with basic international norms. And so undoubtedly, if and when we have a meeting, that this is something that's going to be brought up.
Magandang umaga, bansang Pilipinas. Nagkausap na sina Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte at US President Barack Obama. Bagamat hindi natuloy ang naunang plano na pagtabihin sila sa gala dinner ng Association of Southeast Asian Nations Summit. Mula sa Laos, may report si Rocky Ignacio.
Nagkita at nagkausap na sina Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte at US President Barack Obama sa holding area bago ang gala dinner na handog sa mga bisitang leaders ng pamahalaan ng Laos na ginanap sa National Convention Center. Bagamat hindi magkatabi sa handog na hapunan, nagkaroon naman ng pagkakataon na maayos ang dalawang leader ang umano'y hindi pagkakaunawaan. Katabi ni Pangulong Duterte sina Russian Prime Minister Dmitry Medvedev at Indonesian President Joko Widodo.
Sense that all's well that ends well. No, I mean the warm handshake, a good conversation. You know, in diplomacy, you don't usually go to the past and bakit nangyari or blame anyone. It won't be productive, di ba? And the Philippines and US as a long partnership, long relationship. There are bumps along the way. There will be bumps along the way. We do not know who the next US president will be. But it wouldn't hurt to have a popular former president on our side. That's why you could see that there was an effort from both sides to patch this up, but it is in the nature of people from the Foreign Affairs Department and the State Department to be extremely cautious.
Naniniwala rin ang senador na hindi kailangang humingi ng paumanhin ng Pangulo kay President Obama dahil hindi naman anya nangyari na pagsalitaan nito na hindi maganda ang leader ng Amerika sakaling lecturean umano ito kaugnay na extrajudicial killings.
Let me say my understanding. Kaya sinabing regret. Regret means sana hindi mo ginawa. Sorry means you're apologizing. You cannot apologize for something you did not do. People are saying you apologize dahil minura mo siya, you called him that, etc. He didn't. It was a hypothetical question but reported by the foreign media as a matter of fact that he called him that. But why do you regret it? Because kung hindi mo sinabi, di walang issue, di ba? But that's the problem with passionate leaders. Di ba? When you're so passionate, tinanong kasi